What's going on, people, and welcome back to another Premier League predictions for Game Week 27 starting tomorrow. Can't wait for it. Brentford versus Chelsea up first. I think they cancel each other out. I don't think there's a lot between these two teams. Chelsea are obviously going to be hungry to get a victory after that cup final from the other week because they probably should have won that. And Brentford, obviously, and they're coming off a loss against West Ham as well. So both of these teams will be raring to go and hungry for the 3 points. But I think they'll cancel each other out. I'm going for a draw. I'm going to go 2-2. Everton versus West Ham. I'm going with West Ham in this one. I think Goodison can be very difficult for teams to go to, but Everton are just drawing a lot of blanks in terms of not scoring enough. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's not anywhere near what he needs to be in terms of what he offers the team. They need a goal scorer, and they're severely lacking. Obviously, West Ham have just got Paqueta back. Kudus is back. Bowen's firing, hat-trick recently for him. So, and that was against the Brentford side that I thought Brentford would go to West Ham and win. So, doing it against a decent opposition as well, I think Everton will be an easier game than Brentford is away. So, I still think West Ham could do it though. I'm going to go with West Ham, and I'm going to go 3-0 West Ham. Fulham versus Brighton, difficult one to call, but I fancy Fulham just because they're the home team. I feel like both these teams there's not a lot of difference between the two. Brighton are probably a little bit of a better team overall, but I feel at home Fulham will be up for it. I think that Munoz up top for Fulham is in very good form at the moment. I've got a feeling Fulham will come up with the goods, so I'm going to go with Fulham. I'm going to go 2-1. Newcastle versus Wolves. As I said in the previous video, I think Wolves don't get the respect they should. I think they're a very underrated squad. I think what Gary O'Neill was doing there, he's carried on what he was doing at Bournemouth, and probably have a better set of players at Wolves than Bournemouth. Hwang is a bit of a misfortune though for them. He's just come back and just got injured, so there'll probably be no Hwang, but they do have Neto. Obviously Cunha's out as well, so they are missing some key players, but I still think overall they could cause Newcastle problems, and Newcastle's defence this year has been shocking, so even though they're at home, I think Wolves could cause them problems, and I actually fancy Wolves to nick it. Go 3-2 to Wolves. Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool. I fancy Liverpool to do enough in this. I think they're too good. Even though they're away, it can be tricky at Forest, but I think Liverpool will do enough. 3-1. Spurs versus Palace. I think because Eze and Elise, when they're not available and not involved, they're a completely different team. So I fancy Spurs for this. I believe Gue's out injured at the moment as well. And Spurs have got Son back now. Johnson's been chipping in with goals recently. Maddison's back. Like, most of their players are fit, so I think they're going to be too much for Palace at home. Actually going to go 4-0 Tottenham. Luton versus Villa. I fancy Villa to edge it over Luton in this. I mean, I say edge it. It could be a margin of goals in this. I'm going to go 3-0 Villa. Burnley versus Bournemouth. Now, I'm not sure what to do about Solanke. Press conferences today, so I don't know if it's already happened. I've only just got back into the house, so I have to search for that and see what I'm doing because of Solanke with my fantasy team. But I think even if Solanke doesn't play, Bournemouth will still be favourites, even though it's at Burnley. So I think Burnley are the worst team in the league. Even over Sheffield, I think they're probably the worst team. So I'm going to go with Bournemouth. I'm going to go 2-0. Man City versus Manchester United. As much as I would love to beat City, I just can't see it happening. We're at the Etihad. Haaland's available. Foden's in tremendous form. They got so much depth and quality. Pep knows what he's doing against us. And I can't see us even grabbing a point. So I'm going to go City. 3-1 City. Sheffield United versus Arsenal then to finish off Game Week 27. I see nothing else but 3 points for Arsenal, even though they're away. I think they're in very, very good form at the moment in recent weeks. Saka's back on it. And there's other players that Odegaard stepped up, I think, again. Gabriel scoring a lot from set pieces. I think they'll be far too strong for Sheffield. Going to go 5-0 Arsenal. That is it for this week's predictions, guys. Let me know yours in the comments, and I'll catch you guys soon.